Welcome to the Luke and Connor podcast, episode number 1, featuring Luke Charlier and Connor Miller from Boise, Idaho, and Grafton, Massachusetts, respectively. Okay, this is our first episode. We're going to be talking about our top 10 albums of 2020. If you saw our list, you know everything about this already. Well, you don't understand our reasoning behind it, but
Now
you
you
know
do.
what the albums are. So we're just here to explain why we chose the albums we did, why we like them, why they aren't higher, why they aren't lower. All right, let's just get straight into it with my honorable mentions. Connor doesn't want to explain his, so
They're like the same thing. So
yeah, they're just basically the same thing. First, I have EP by JPEG Mafia. It has some really great songs, including Bald, which is my second favorite song of the year, I think.
I think it's my number one.
It's really good. And it has a couple other really good songs, but it's just kind of short. It's not really cohesive. It's just a collection of songs. You should check it out, but I don't think it's really top 10 worthy. How I'm Feeling Now by Charlie XCX. It's a great album. It kind of represents that feeling that quarantine had, just with like the loneliness and everything. It's pretty cool. I don't think it really is as good as her last album, Charlie, but it has some interesting moments, some really catchy songs, and some really cool songs like Claws. I really like Claws. Uh, Attack of the Flesh-Covered Meat Bags of the '85. I think there might be more words in that, but whatever. It's an
Future
amazing,
Shock.
yeah, Future Shock. That's it. It's an amazing abstract hip hop album with some unique beats and a great concept. It's kind of just like I don't even. It's like Paranoid in 2020. It's kind of goes hand in hand with how I'm feeling now with the concept, I guess. But it's like a more aggressive approach, I guess. It's pretty cool. If you like MF Doom or just abstract hip hop like that, you'd love this album. Miles, honestly, when we revise our list in the future, this will be my top 10. This is one of the best hip hop albums of the year. It's really long, that's why I didn't put it in the first place. But now that's not really like even that bad of a con anymore because all the songs are really good for how long it is. And it's really cool if you like it just goes with the theme of jazz rap that we've been seeing all year. If you like jazz rap, you'll love this album. It's really cool. I Disagree by Poppy. It's a cool, unique album. It's like pop and metal. Like it's one of the more interesting and just like out there albums I've listened to all year. Last year was Weird Volume 2 by TK Mazita. I think that's how you say your name. I'm not like completely sure. This is like when I heard this, I was like, damn, this girl has a future. It's one of the more versatile and just like it's just a showcase of everything she can do in a short little EP. If you like female rap or like even experimental rap, like because there's a JPEG Mafia feature on this, you'd probably like this. And there's a lot of good hooks and just interesting moments that just worth your while. Innocent Country 2, this is on Connor's list, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
A great jazz rap album with amazing features and cool production. Similar to Miles, but it's not as good as Miles. I'll just say that. But it has a Earl Sweatshirt feature that I like a lot. Just some really good production. What's that song called? Wait, I have to look it up real quick.
The one with Earl on it.
No, no, no. Living Happy is an amazing song. Probably the best, maybe except for Mirage, which also is really good. Quelle Chris is an amazing rapper, and I love him a lot. Sayama by Rina Sayama is another. It's similar to I Disagree with that pop metal mix, but it's a lot more poppier and just like a more mainstream version of it, I guess. But it's still really good. After Hours, a lot of people might be mad that I left this out, but I don't like it as much as other people do. But it's still a great atmospheric album, which is it's a little inconsistent for me though, but there's a lot of cool moments like uh the beat switch on the first song. Blinding Lights is an obvious great song. That is the reason it got so popular. It's so catchy. I love it, but I just wish the whole album was like Blinding Lights.
Same.
And then my last honorable mention of the day is Exeter, which is pretty high on Connor's list. But
Number one.
dude, you just spoiled the entire thing. Okay,
Oh yeah.
it's a great atmospheric album that it just kind of transition blade into 333. It's like showing what it's gonna be like, but it's I don't know, it's just like a fairy album. Sounds like a carnival. It's really cool, but I just barely missed out in the top 10 for me. It's a little short. It's not super ambitious, but it's really cool. I think if you like cloud rap or just atmospheric music, you would really like it. And let's get on to the list. Okay, Connor, what do you have at number 10?
Number 10, I have Stars by Young Lean. This album has really good production, and the beats just build up throughout the song. I didn't really like it at first, but it's been growing on me ever since I first listened to it. And if you're gonna listen to it, you have to listen to it with headphones on and just full volume in the middle of the night, because it's just the best.
Yeah, or just like walking
Yeah,
at
that,
night. That's how
that,
I listened to it once. I was like, damn, this is so good.
or just in the car.
Just chilling
Yeah,
in
I
the rain.
listened to it like that one time. Okay, what's your 10?
I got the anticipated album Whole Lotta Red by Playboi Carti. This took just a massive left turn from Dial-It. Dial-It was all wavy and like, whoa, we're in a dream. Well, Whole Lotta Red is in your face, just punk inspired, hard hitting. It's almost like trap metal like City Morgue. And the production, it just never misses. It's so ambitious and just like the beats are so insane on this. Though it is kind of like inconsistent with its vibes, I don't really mind it that much. It's a trap album. I'm not really looking for that super like cohesive vibe sometimes. It's a great collection of songs, amazing vocal delivery from Cardi, but the biggest flaw about it is how long it is. It's super long. There's like 24 tracks and there's two features, right? No, three. There's three features, Future, Kid Cudi, and Kanye West. They're all pretty okay features, but three features on a 24 song long trap album, it kind of it's just a little like you need more features for that, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you have at number 9?
Uh, at number 9, surprisingly, I have Whole Lotta Red. And like Luke said, he experiments into a new punk style. This album is just really exciting and high energy, and just pretty much all the songs I can get excited to. I do think it was like too long and he had too many songs, but the songs being short did go to the album's advantage because I feel like if they were too long, it just would have got boring and repetitive. But I also think Cardi could have like played more into the punk style because he also like kind of relied on his older Die-Lit sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your number 8, Luke?
Number 9? My number 9
Yeah.
is Microphones in 2020. It is 44-minute long epic by Phil Elverum under the name The Microphones, which he hasn't used since like 2003, so it's a pretty important deal for him. It's a great reflection on his past work and the younger version of himself, and it's just like you need the music video to watch, like to listen to this because it just makes it so much better seeing all the old pictures. Sonically, it's just it has like great progression and it has a very satisfying climax at the end, and it's just a really interesting and ambitious listen. That also kind of works against it. It's an ambitious listen. It takes a lot of time and energy to get through this. It's long, it's kind of repetitive sounding, so it's not like an album where they change like it varies from sound to sound every single song. So it progresses to a great climax. It is kind of hard to listen to. That's really the only flaw, but it's still a great album. I seriously suggest anybody checks it out if you like folk music or just like poetic music, I guess. All right, number 8. That was a train wreck.
Okay, my number 8 is Little Uzi Vert versus the World 2. And at the start of quarantine, EA was coming out. I was really hyped for it, and then it dropped, and it just did not live up to the expectations. But this album definitely did. I listened to this album so much during quarantine, and it's like the typical Lil Uzi Vert you would think, but he just has great features. I feel like every beat on this song is just amazing. Yeah, Uzi just does a good job on this album.
Okay, my number 8 is Pixel Bath by Gene Dawson. The hooks on this are really good. It's very catchy. The production on this, it's like bedroom pop, kind of just like your white girl vibe. but it's like glitched out and just kind of odd sounding. I like it a lot. Gene Dawson has just an amazing vocal performance on this. I can't stress this enough. He goes from sounding like Denzel Curry to sounding like Frank Ocean to sounding like Kevin Abstract. Like he's so versatile. He can sound like a pretty boy a pretty boy singer to sounding like a hard rapper. And he just changes on an instant. It's really cool. He really just brings this album to the next level. It's a There's a couple flaws with it. It's a bit rough around the edges, but it's still top tier 2020, and he is definitely going to make our 2021 freshman list. He's cool. Okay, number 7.
He is pretty cool. He's at my number 7 too, so I'm not gonna say the same things as Luke, but just really good production, unique vocals, and I feel like every song on this album has gotten stuck in my head at some point.
Yeah, it's so catchy.
Yeah.
Number 7 for me, Alfredo by the Gibster. This is his follow-up album to Bandana, but he's not with Madlib this time. He's with The Alchemist. The Alchemist is not Madlib, but he's still a really good producer, and he takes a new take on Freddie Gibbs style. Instead of being the in-your-face gangster, it's like the kind of laid-back gangster, you know? The production on this is a lot more lo-fi and just kind of like chill. Just listen to it, like something to rap about. But still, there is some hard songs like God is Perfect in 1985, which are more like the classic Gibbs we know. Gibbs does not hold back on this. He raps his heart out on every song. He's probably the best, just like delivery I've ever heard from a rapper in a really long time. The features on this are also really good. Rick Ross, Tyler the Creator, uh, Benny the Butcher, and Conway the Machine. Wait, is Benny on this? Am I
I'm pretty sure
tripping?
he is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's on why can't I remember what it's called? But it sounds like there's a fart sound effect in it. Uh, but to
Frank
it's
Lucas.
Yeah, Frank Lucas. To The sad thing about this is it's not Pinata and it's not Bandana.
Yeah.
It's not as ambitious as those. It doesn't hit those highs like those do, but it's still very solid. And if you like those two albums, you'll like this album. I guarantee it. Just don't expect it being better than it. Okay, let's go to number 6.
My number 6 is Innocent Country 2. Like Luke said earlier in the honorable mention, it's just got really good features and warming production. It's another jazz rap album of the year. I feel like there's a lot of them this year.
Yeah, there definitely was.
Yeah. What's your number 6, Luke?
That was short. Okay, Run the Jewels 4. Shout out Matt Likes Movies. This is hard hitting beats. It's futuristic, yet it sounds like it's straight from the 90s. It's just such a weird sounding vibe that I really like. Amazing technical rapping from Killer Mike and LP. They just kill it every song like they always have been. It's just consistent with their last couple albums, which is just insane that they've put out 4 straight albums that are all as good as each other. It's probably one of the more impressive feats in hip hop we've ever seen. There's really good features from Pharrell, 2 Chainz, and that's the only features I can think of. What is wrong with me? And then the only thing that kind of holds this back for me is it doesn't always fit the vibe for me, and it can just kind of come off as corny. And that's just because Killer Mike and LP are both very, 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 um, how do I say this? Like, they're old, and they kind of come off as old, angry people sometimes. And sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to hear that.
It's like
But
hearing your dad rap.
yeah, it's like hearing your dad rap. But they're cool dads for the most part. LP and Killer Mike are great rappers. I love Killer Mike's energy. This is a very solid album. If you like 90s hip hop, you'll probably like this. And if you like more hardcore, louder hip hop, you'll like this as well. Okay, number 5, we have the same album. We have 333 by Blade. What I was talking about earlier is how Exeter is kind of the transition for Blade. This is where he kind of hits his high mark. He goes full pop mode. He just turns into a pop star on this. His vocals are they match the energy of the beats, if that makes sense. And the beats are just amazing. I just can't stress this enough about how amazing the production on this is. Oh well, play the cards that I'm given. Like the beat on that, it just always gets stuck on my head. And
This
Reality
album just
Surf,
makes me want to sing.
yeah, I know. Like it made like I can't sing, but I just sing right there. It's
Yeah,
so
it's true.
catchy. Blade, he might not be the best singer in the world, but god damn, he can make a good hook.
Yeah,
And just the hooks on this are amazing. Like every song just it's like Pixel Bath. They just get stuck in my head over and over again. They're so addicting. If you like pop music, you like this. If you like cloud rap, you like this. If you like trap, you probably will like this. The beats are really cool. Do
agreed.
you have anything else to say?
Uh, no, just really immersive, great vocals, makes me want to sing.
Yep. Number four, what do you have?
My number 4 is Alfredo by the Gibster. Like Luke said before, it's got really good production from Alchemist. I mean, it's not as good as Madlib, but no one's as good as Madlib, so
Facts.
yeah. He's got great features from Tyler the Creator and those other people.
The
Um,
Griselda Boys, except for West Side
Griselda
Gun.
Man. Yeah, just great lyrics as always from Freddie Gibbs. What's your
Gangsta.
number 4, Luke?
I got, speaking of Griselda, I got Pray for Paris, which is Griselda's best album by West Side Gun. It's another jazz rap album in a year full of jazz rap. It kind of just feels like West Side Gun's grand, his magnum opus. It's just like it feels like you're watching an awards show or something. It's his moment in the spotlight, and he's showing everybody who he is and how much of a gangster he is and how cool he is. And I dig it a lot. His ad libs are in your face. They're boop 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 boom, and his lyrics are just gangster. Like he's saying, I'll blow your brains out in daylight" and shit like that. It's definitely Gibbs' best. Why'd I call him Gibbs? It's definitely Gunn's magnum opus and his best album. Though there's kind of some corny moments, kind of like Run the Jewels, because he's an older fella. And the features on this kind of carry this a little bit too. Like Tyler the Creator again and Benny the Butcher and all the other Griselda boys bring
Yeah,
this to another level. So even though this is West Side Gun's magnum opus, it kind of feels like he's being carried by his team. But still, I checked this out. It's probably the best uh, coke rap album of the year. So if
yeah.
you like cocaine, check it out.
Speaking of Griselda, my number 3 album is Pray for Paris.
Wish
And
dumbass up.
yeah, this just is really a better version of Supreme Blintelli. I mean,
Buy and tell. Keep that in. Keep that in.
okay. Okay. And yeah, I feel like this is just what happens when West Side Gun takes his time on an album and doesn't try to drop 3 times a year and retire. Yeah.
Yeah, he retired like 19 times.
Yeah.
My number three, I got Stars. Connor talked about it earlier, but I'm gonna talk about it a little more. Just it's the same producer as 333, so there's that same great production. But this time I feel like 333 had like that pop kind of cool production. This has more of like a almost prog rock production. It just builds up to these climaxes, especially in songs like Boy Life and EU, Stars, and Put Me in a Spell. They build up to these climaxes that always pay off, and I just always revisit them just because of they always give me goosebumps because of just how crazy they get. It just feels like it's just amazing. It just feels like magic. That's what this album is. It feels like magic. It's kind of fairy like, but also I think it's one of like Young Lean is just such an interesting person. He's not very vocally gifted, but he makes himself work on his these unique beats. If you like Playboy Cardi out, check this out. If you like Blade, there's no way you haven't checked this out, but check it out. It's very atmospheric and it's definitely deserving of a top three spot.
Agreed, even though it's not in my top 3. Our number 2s are both Purple Moonlight Pages. Just another jazz rap album. It's really chill and mellow. His delivery just blends really great with the production. I don't really think there's a single bad song on this album. It's just all really good.
Yeah. To add on to that, the production is really insane. The beats just make me tap my finger every time I listen to them. The drums just like feel alive almost. They're just
Yeah.
infectious. It's just like you're like watching some jazz show and some weird guys rapping about the universe. That's what this album is. It's really cool. Rap Ferreira has really cool delivery and really great lyricism. He's a poet. That's what he's trying to be, and he sounds like a slam poetry person. It's really cool. Check this out. Best jazz rap record of the year. Not much else to say about it.
It was a slam dunk.
Number one time. This is the end.
My
You guys
number
ready?
one album is Exeter, as I previously spoiled. And yeah, this album is just really stands out in Blade's discography to me. It's so unique, and I don't know, I feel like a fairy. It's like it's really short. I wish it was longer, but it's just
Yeah, like I honestly agree. Just the atmosphere in this album is on another level.
yeah,
It's like you're a fairy in a carnival.
yeah. And
That's
I
that's how I
hated this
describe it.
album at first. I thought it was so trash.
Yeah,
And then
same.
we were making our top 10 albums, and I listened to it, and I realized how fire it was.
Yeah, it's definitely a grower.
Yeah,
I want
grower, not a shower.
boy shut yo dumbass up. Let's go to my number one. Very also a very atmospheric album, but in the complete opposite sense. If Exeter is you bringing a fairy, Vision the Body's being burned is your a
Demon.
body being burned. Yeah, you're a demon. It's it's inspired by horror movies and other horrorcore albums, and it's just the perfect blend, and it creates an atmosphere of horror that we've never really seen in hip hop before. The production is industrial and like very unique. It's not like Death Grip's industrial. It's not like that crazy, but it's still pretty crazy. And there's just unique, groundbreaking way things that I've never seen before, like the knocking in it's like 96 Campbell and Nev, I think it's called. Let me check. Yeah, 96 Nev Campbell. It's just the knocking in that and just the like the screeching in She Bad, and then there's just so much cool production on this that just catches my ear, and I'm like, wow, I like this. Davey Diggs is an amazing rapper, and he puts on a show on this. He tells really interesting and scary stories with amazing technical rapping, and he doesn't sound as corny as Killer Mike and LP do. I think this is like the scary version of Run the Jewels, but done a lot better in my opinion, which creates my favorite album of the year, which also has an amazing song called Enlacing, which is about a bad psychedelic trip. And it's really cool. As someone who's experienced that, it perfectly encapsulates that feeling of that dread you have. And the production is cloudy and cool. And there's not much to say. Great. I mean, not much else I can say about this except it's great. And it's my number one album of the year. And that's it, folks. Thank you for listening to the Luke and Connor podcast. That was pretty bumpy, but we're gonna get better as
Yeah,
time goes on.
yeah.
We're both weird white people, so we'll learn how to adapt to this
And how to
format.
not say the same words over and over again.
Yeah, we'll build chemistry, and someday this podcast will be at least listenable. So if you like this, I love you.
Oh, I love you too.
We're a lot better at editing photos on Photoshop than we are at talking,
Yeah.
but I
Check out
think
our
event
Instagram.
I think eventually we'll be pretty good at this. It's a growing process.
We'll be
So if you
fire.
like this, share it with a friend. Be like, "Oh my gosh, Luke and Connor, they're they're talking." Okay, cut it. This is over. This is over.
Okay.